It's happened since last time. We got the bed off. That was an ordeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I power washed the frame. Alright, no heat, no oil. We'll see if these bolts will come out. Oh boy. Okay, so the other one came out. This one, not so much. See if we can get it started. Nope. Well, not going as good as we hoped. So, I'm pretty sure this bolt is frozen in that bushing. It will not move at all. This side isn't much of a nut anymore. Or at least I can't get any sockets that fit on it. This side just spins. I don't think I can get any tools on it. So it looks like I'm going to have to cut these out. Yeah, so these bolts are frozen. Looks like these ones are too. So what we're going to do, because I don't want to bore my helper here, we're going to pull these shocks out. And then I think we'll start wire brushing this back portion here and start getting some paint on it at least. Go for it.
Huh?
Go for it.
Right?
It should be set correctly already. Got it. So he just asked me why these washers look like this. This is so when they put them together at the factory, they just got to plot this in there, put a bolt in, and then they can tighten it down. So that will go against the frame, and it tightens it up. So that's why they look like that, Xavier. I don't know how much farther we're going to get today. We pulled the rear bumper off because I was worried about overspray with paint, and I also figured it'd be easier to paint up in here. The other thing I was worried about was inside the frame. I was worried there was a bunch of sand and dirt in there. It looks fairly clean. What I might do is in the future maybe cut a channel out temporarily to wash out the inside of the frame and see if I can get a kit to for one, paint the inside, and maybe I'll put some fluid film in there too. Here's what we got. I wanted to paint something today. So the point is I have to wire brush this pretty heavily because what I've been told, this stuff works fairly well, but if you don't do any prep, it don't last. So this is going to be the base coat, this rust reformer, and then I have some Rust-Oleum. I think it's a rust protective enamel. That's going to be the top coat. That's going to be brushed on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have made the executive decision to combine episodes 2 and 3, or where it used to be episodes 2 and 3. I've cut out a lot of footage, so if I stopped here, the video would only be 3 minutes long. So now is one of my favorites, episode 3, All in My Head. I do have to apologize. The audio is not great in these earlier episodes, especially this one. I mean, you could still hear it. It's not great audio. So I'm going to have to work on that when I do record in the future, but just bear with me for these earlier episodes. Anyway, I finally got off work, and then I started heading down the highway around 90 miles per hour. What do you think you're doing? You're supposed to be working on your truck right now. Richie, I've got friends over right now. They're not real. They're a figment of your imagination. Well, we're waiting. Okay, whatever. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. I don't know if you can see it. That last pin in the connector is full of green rot. There's a crack right there. I don't know if that's going to show up either. Here's the big kahuna. That connector is full of green rot. About 4 years ago, I was driving on this truck, and the fuel gauge went all the way down to E. And I could never figure out why. That's why. Because it just cleared itself up and never happened again. Clearly the seal had failed here and let some moisture in. This was during a huge ice storm. There was a lot of snow on the road. And no, you cannot just clean these connections and then send it back down the road. Because once corrosion starts like this, especially in electrical circuits, it's going to come back. You have to replace it, especially with water damage like this. Now, unfortunately for me, I still need to drop this fuel tank. We're going to do that today. I need to do that so we can get back here and paint all this. And while it's out, we'll deal with that issue. Since last time, the two bolts that I couldn't get out were the stock parts of the both leaf spring shackles. Took a Sawzall, cut through those. Those are out now. This one got a little tweaked when I cut the other bolt out. Now we're good. We ran into yet another problem. So the spot welds for this bolt that hold on that fuel tank strap have broken, and now that entire stud spins in place. Same issue, probably going to run into that and the one down there. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah. Okay, good news and bad news. That nut down there came out, so we only got one stuck one to deal with. Bad news is it's still quite heavy with only a quarter tank, at least when I'm lying down there on my back. We got it out, and I have two good fuel tank straps, so we don't need to buy those. Now, in order to fix the mount, so we cut that out, I'm going to cut a slot on the frame here. We'll get a new bolt from the hardware store, we'll weld that in place, and that will be where we mount the other fuel tank strap. Oh yeah, I pulled that muffler out too. But look at how much room we have now. Well, that felt wrong. Here it is. So it's actually not spot welded. They have a little clip. Here's the other part of it. Way down here. If I can grab it. Ah! So it was a little clip that they slid in here through that hole. And then they installed that stud. Nut goes on it to hold the fuel tank strap. Clearly that broke. But now we'll be able to get a new bolt. We'll weld that in place. And I think I might actually get another piece and fill this in. I don't know yet. So I was about to buy some 1/8 inch plate for that frame. But I've got plenty of it right here. I think I'm going to use this piece. I'll save that stuff for later. Alright, we'll get to fixing that bolt on the fuel tank in a minute, but I got distracted by something. I was wondering what this was. So there's a hose that goes off the fuel tank and goes into this. There's a borescope. It's literally just a hole in the frame, so it must be a vent for the fuel tank filler or something. And I got my camera facing downward now. So it looks like we got like a fine layer of dust on the inside of the frame. So keep that in mind.
You want some hot dogs? I'm making hot dogs. Bitches love my hot dogs.
Dude, I already told you not to sneak up on me like that. It freaks me out.
I'm sorry, man. Your hot dogs make me really excited, you know.
Here it is all prepped up. We're going to weld this bolt in place. And then we're going to tack weld these. Okay, I managed to stick that bolt and tack weld the other plate. I gotta reset that one. I'm not the biggest fan of 6011. I would have preferred 7018s. But they did their job. The nice thing with stick welders is you don't have to have the cleanest material to weld on it. Probably wouldn't pass any weld tests, but they're stuck. Quite a bit of porosity in the welds. So anytime you see those little bubbles, that's porosity. Porosity is bad because it's a void. So it's pretty much just maybe some of the welding gas that got caught while the weld was hardening still. And voids cause weakness. So, but like I said, it's still stuck. So I'm happy with it. Come and get your red hots. Well, it's gonna do it for now. I'll see you next time when I record whatever the hell I'm doing.